Hey, I'm Amy Pinnell with the Community Development Office for the town of Braselton, and we are here doing another Buy Local Braselton video series from our toolbox. And I've got Alex Malone with us today, and you're with Pioneer Digital Marketing. Alex has been with us for a couple of different things, and you are an expert on all things, and we're going to be talking about leveraging AI today. And this is kind of a scary topic for me. And we've talked a little bit about, that this is such a ever-changing kind of thing. It's very revolutionary right now, and very things are just changing all the time. All right, so we're going to touch on a couple of different things today. We're going to talk about if you're a newbie, you've never done this before, don't really know much about it. We're going to be talking about technically sound. Maybe you've kind of dived into it a little bit. And then folks that are really more technical with it and more comfortable with it, right?
Right, exactly. I wanted this video to be useful for everybody at any time. AI is changing so rapidly. I mean, we're in February 2024, and just in the last week, you can now put in information and AI will create a 1-minute video for you. That's really, really vivid. And that came out just this past month. And the month before, there was something else that came out. So we're just going to discuss the different levels, where you're at. If you've never used AI before, this video is for you. And if you've created businesses and money off of AI, we can also talk a little bit about how we could do more of that. So,
okay, all right.
Ready to get started?
Yeah. Let's talk about. I've not dived into it yet, and I was just at a conference a couple of weeks ago, and everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I've heard people say they use it every day.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm a newbie, I don't really know where to go. What are you going to tell me?
And this section's for you then. There's multiple different people out there right now. Some people just don't know how to use it, so they don't use it. There's people out there that are completely afraid of it, and they think it's going to take over the world, which is understandable. Understandable. It is a little freaky. It's one of the fastest evolving technology inventions that the world has ever seen. I can understand that, but this may be good news for some and bad news for others. It's here, and it's here to stay. It's not going to go away, and it's evolving, and it's going to continue to get better and better and better, faster and faster. So what does that mean? If you are not using it right now, I'm not trying to put too much pressure on, but you're probably falling behind. There's a lot of companies that are using this, probably within your industry, that are going to be putting out content faster. They're going to be use it to make decisions that you don't have the ability to make because you don't have it can make a better analysis than you can. So to start, just if you've never used AI before, Google OpenAI or ChatGPT. Click on the link and just create a profile. You can usually sign in with whatever account you have. If you have a Gmail or if you have a Microsoft account, you can normally sign with that. It's a free account. Where do you start? Every time that you're having a conversation with your friends on the weekends and you come up with an argument on what baseball player had the highest batting average back in the 1950s or 60s, or what time is it in the Pacific time zone? Instead of Googling it, just pull ChatGPT up and then ask ChatGPT a question.
Okay.
The reason I like to say this is because it's going to give you an answer that's probably a little bit more easy to read. You can go into ChatGPT and say, I'm a 60-year-old business owner and I'm trying to learn how to use you. Can you give me some ideas? And it will give you some ideas on how you can start using it more often. Okay. And what I would say is just go in there. If you have a question that you're going to ask Google, ask ChatGPT instead. And what I love is if they give you an answer and you have a follow-up question, you can ask the follow-up question and it will remember the data for you, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So a great way to become accustomed to it is instead of relying on Google for answers and facts and data, you can use ChatGPT.
Okay, so it's a good way to get started instead of
Exactly.
like I've got an assignment and I need to write, I'm trying to do an advertisement or something. Just something might be more fun to just play with it and just ask questions.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
We can do that.
Yep, exactly. So if you've never used it before, just simply log in, make an account, and just become familiar with it. If you have a question, just ask the question, and over time you'll start realizing, what else can I do with it? It's kind of like when Siri came out for the first time. You didn't realize that you could ask her about the weather. You didn't realize that you could ask her to turn the lights on in your home. Now you can do all that stuff, but it took a little while to evolve. So we're going to transition and segue into section 2, which will be AI for the technically sound. And that's an extension of your action. So before, for the people who have never used it before, we're gonna use AI as an extension for our knowledge. If we don't know something, we're gonna ask AI, it's gonna tell us, and now we know it. And we can actually use AI for actions now. Okay, so Amy, as the community development director, you might be sending out emails, you might be creating different marketing material to go out into the community. Sometimes that takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of different ways to word things that don't make sense. For you, if you were to evolve to that next step for the technically sound, using it for action, you could prompt AI to go and do that for you. So let's say you're looking for a social media post just for the town of Braselton. You could say, hey, I'm looking for a social media post that talks about X, Y, and Z. Can you give me a caption for that? And then it will take that action for you, copy, paste it, see how it works.
Okay.
Have it do things that you've never done before. So if you're like, I'm the CEO of a company, or I'm the founder of a local mom and pop shop, but I've never built a user persona. What's a user persona? Well, that's just knowing who your customer is and all the data about them. That way, when we market to those people, we can market to their needs. Just tell ChatGPT, hey, this is what I do. Here are the people that normally buy from me. Can you build out a user persona document and see what it gives you? It might give you something that you've never done before that's really helpful. You can ask it to write ad copy. You can ask it to optimize an email to make it more convertible, to buy something or to take an action.
Gosh, it sounds like it could be my best friend.
Exactly. And that's the scary part, is some people think that it's going to start taking over the way that our knowledge is building and the actions that we take. So the important part is to know what questions to ask it.
Right.
Because I always say the best way to go from the number one AI for newbies, extension of your knowledge, to using action is by just saying, what do I spend most of my time on during the day? Do you write a lot of emails? If so, have it write an email for you. Do you sit there and write blogs all day? Have it write a blog. And then just see if it'll save you some time. I guarantee you it will.
Okay, I'm excited to get going. Now, what if those folks that are out there that are using it all the time, they're super comfortable? What can we tell them today?
Yeah, great question, and it's changing on a daily basis. So this is the part where I'm blown away. I'm still learning myself. I'm still using it, but that's the coolest part, is it can do some really cool things. So I call this AI for the advanced, which is instead of getting knowledge or action, you can automate things. And one of the best ways to do that is with a custom GPT. So if you pay for the premium version of ChatGPT, I think it's $20 to $25 a month. Once you become accustomed to how to use it, I would recommend going in and creating something called a custom GPT, which is just a way for ChatGPT to help you more in specific areas of your life. As a marketing agency owner, I have a custom GPT for each client because it has directions and it knows my clients well enough to where I can say, write a blog outline. Write me some copy for their website. Give me some ad copy. How about some social media post ideas? And it knows so much about that specific client that it will give me all the information I need to know. So as you create GPTs, here's a couple things that you could use them for. Blog writing in 5 steps. You could actually add in an integration from another company to have GPT schedule bookings in your calendar for you without you having to touch anything. You can have it send emails out for you. You can actually have it build websites for you now, which is pretty crazy. And then also social media. You can have it start to post on social media for you. I don't want to go too much deeper than that because that starts to get the people that are at the section know that they're at the section. For all of you guys out there that are confused and don't know where to start, just start to understand what it can do for you and become accustomed to how it's changing, because it's going to be a part of all of our lives very soon. Yeah,
and I like what you say, if you're not using it, you're almost already behind the curve. So
think about when computers came out. My grandparents owned an insurance agency, and they came to them and said, hey, you can invest this money and buy a computer, or you can continue to do things the same way that you have been. And they went and invested in computers, but their partners who did not actually had to close their doors to their business because after a couple of years, computers were doing things much faster and more efficient. And this is kind of the way this is going to go. Wave of the future. Exactly. All right, be on the wave. Be on the wave. All right, another great piece of information. Loved it. Thank you so much. And we'll be talking to you soon. Absolutely. Thanks, Amy. All right, thanks.